Guys, this is Jersky with Cryptidwarfare and Conspiracies Podcast and CW Operations and Survival. Hope you guys had a good week. It's been a minute. I haven't been MIA, but I've been really busy with side projects and stuff. Getting ready for this operation we got going on in Alabama or Mississippi or Florida. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. So, Operation Skittles. That's what we're going to call it. Other than that, yeah, I've been doing a lot of side projects. My oldest daughter is looking at colleges, so that's busy. And that's all I'm going to say. Enough about me. Yeah, if you guys got any stories or you guys want to chit chat, talk, you guys got any prayer requests, you guys want to be on the show, go ahead and shoot me an email, cryptidwarfare@gmail.com, cryptidwarfare@gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram, cryptidwarfare, or Facebook, or TikTok. I don't care how you get a hold of me, just get a hold of me. If you guys are having any problems, spiritual warfare problems, cryptid problems, anything like that, weird stuff going on, go ahead and shoot me another email. It's over at c.woperations@17905@gmail.com. We would love to help you guys out. And other than that, that's enough about that. Guys, we have a good person on here yet again. As we talked about, she is not in my closet. I don't have her trapped in my closet, guys. I'm just joking around. But yeah, we don't. So, guys, Jessica, and actually, I got her on here as a TCMW, which is actually, you know what? I'm going to let her talk about the Combat Midwife. Okay, guys? So, I'm not going to tell you what we're talking about. But, Jessica, I just want to say thank you for coming on. Part 2. And why don't you give a little brief bio about yourself and where they can find you at?
Good morning. Thanks for having me come back. It was we had a fun chit chat last time, and we had too much fun, so we had to hang out again. And no, you haven't been keeping me in your closet. I've gone and returned, but let's see. So I'm the combat midwife because I've been training the combat medics, flight medics, PJs, Navy Corpsmen, all sorts of things for years and years. And my students started calling me that. It just stuck, and everybody started calling me that. So now it's the name of my business. And I travel around the country teaching people how to take care of women and children in shit hits the fan, austere situations that we could potentially find ourselves in. Yeah, that's my elevator pitch.
Ooh, sounds good. We'll talk about that too. All right, let's just get into it. So you and I talked a little bit about, well, last time, also sent a video. We'll just go ahead and jump into some, I wouldn't say conspiracies, but I like what you said, truths.
Yeah.
Definitely truths. So we'll talk about the jab, how it affected people, also kids, all that stuff too. Yeah, so I know when it came to that I say when people were off of work and stuff, a lot of people definitely opened up their minds to a lot of things that were going on in the medical world, government, politics, stuff like that. But as far as that in your criteria, in your area, when it comes to kids, the medical field and stuff like that, what were like the big changes and the aha moments that you were seeing when it came to the jab?
In 2021, we had a over 500% increase in miscarriages.
Okay. So for people who were taking the jab, correct?
Well, so that data is collective, and the powers that collect that data don't split up vaccinated versus unvaccinated, because
they have them just jumbled up.
They will never do that. The government will never do a side-by-side parallel of health with vaccinated versus unvaccinated humans. They will never do that because the data is just too strong for us to know, oh yeah, injecting ourselves with unknown materials that are full of metal and formaldehyde and a whole bunch of other garbage that I can't pronounce is really bad. And it's not just applicable to the 2020 flu jab, it's all of them. However, obviously 2020, 2021 was the first rollout of the COVID vaccine. So 2021 data is released end of 22. And there was a over 500% increase in miscarriages.
Yeah.
So the definition of a miscarriage is the loss of a baby before 20 weeks. It's a fetal demise after 20 weeks. And so, because humans are in different stages of development, right? We're in an embryonic state and then we transition into a fetal state. And so they just use that cutoff time frame to identify it and give it a name. And so, yeah, so that's basically halfway through second trimester and below is going to be a miscarriage, and a 500% increase. I mean, I'd love my bank statement to increase 500%, but I definitely don't want miscarriage rates to increase 500%. We already have a crisis worldwide, but I'm going to speak to just specifically the United States of people not having children. And so we're at the last time it was calculated, we're at 2.9 replacement. Once it's at 1.9, the society will cease to exist. It will no longer ever be in existence because there's not enough babies to replace the people that are currently living and will die.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of know. Yeah, I kind of noticed the whole like replacement problem when it comes to Asia. I know China was having problems when it comes to, with kids and stuff like that, and then people getting married and all that. They're not having enough people take over the jobs, take over the positions and stuff like that because A, their whole rules on having a male between a female, or B, they were very proactive on taking the jab because of everything that was going on. And yeah, it's just, yeah.
right. Well, it goes way before that because
Yeah, it
they
goes with, but yeah.
implemented the one child policy, and then they inflicted forced terminations on women who conceived a second child. So we have that issue of there wasn't enough to replace that culture. But then when you are already in a deficit, you're now having to put more pressure on the current living generation to produce more to replace a deficit that they were born into. So I'm not super awesome at math, but I know that is not mathing.
Yeah, that's a fact. So when all this was going on, where were you at the time? Were you in the medical field? Were you training in the military? Like, what were you doing at that time?
I was like now wearing multiple hats, so doing patient care and training. Yeah, I was doing all the things. And then also during that time, I don't know what years you considered the COVID crisis, but I also during that time period, I was also working in the Afghan refugee camp because Afghanistan fell in late third quarter 2021. So
Yeah.
I went and worked in an Afghan refugee camp from that point through 2022.
Yeah. Did you know? Okay, Chizo. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big. Yeah, that was a big mess up. Okay, so I know because there's actually been a couple of friends of mine that were having kids at that time, and all these rules and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, so the hospitals implemented all of these insane policies of just drop your wife off at the front door and
that was
then
nuts.
you can come get her in 24 to 72 hours like she's a package or sourdough bread. I don't know which one you want to compare her to because either way it was just really horrible. Nobody should give birth alone. Ever, but especially when you have a very viable human being that can be with you. And even before that was taking place, I would never ever encourage anyone to go to the hospital alone, for a multitude of reasons. but one is specifically just the overall umbrella would be safety. And that is, you need to have an advocate for you when you're sick and ill or injured and can't speak for yourself. Even if you can physically speak, you're altered, right? Because you're in pain or you don't feel good.
Yeah, you're not thinking with the right. Yeah, you're not thinking.
Yeah,
in the right
you're not in the right set of brain cells in order to kind of advocate for yourself. So you need to have a friend or family member that can be there for you. And so now what we're doing is we're just leaving. Well, we were, and I mean we as in the United States, we're just leaving women seriously at the front door of the hospital. So the only cool thing that came out of COVID is there was a humongous increase in out of hospital birth those following years, because everybody was like, you know, blank this. I'm not leaving my wife at the front doors with the weird old man that pushes the wheelchair and then picking her up 3 days later with or without a baby. Like, who's doing that?
Yeah.
No one's, that's insane. Oh, and you want her to go through an entire labor with a mask on her face? Like, you go run a marathon with a mask on your face, because the research has been done that giving birth to a child is more strenuous than running a marathon. So that's just crazy. Like, why would you do that to people? Yeah, not to mention the fetal demise rate. So that's after 20 weeks skyrocketed as well. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the number, but it was significantly high because the hospitals and doctors were encouraging pregnant women to get the COVID shot. And so now you're having babies after 20 weeks pass as well, or are born with significant defects and problems because we're using an experimental concoction of garbage on someone whose cells are rapidly developing and changing in the fetal portion of their human development. That's just insane.
Yeah, I hear that. I know you and I are definitely like a lot like-minded. Why do you think they freaking pushed it so much?
Oh, that's a super easy question. I mean, it's all about control. First and foremost, it's all about control. So if you can funnel people into a particular mindset because of fear and coercion, then you are in control of the masses. And in that process, the goal is to also whittle down the population. And you want to, and this is done in multi phases, right? So if you think about what's going on with just the culture of young family having, right? So creating offspring, young adults, we'll just say from 18 to 49. Okay. We'll just do that window of people. Then you can either injure them, right? Make them sick physically. You can mentally derail them, or you can just off them entirely, because you want the weaker ones to survive. You don't want the strong ones to survive. So we had a huge 20-year bullshit war that went on, which completely destroyed, not just physically sent people home in boxes, but it mentally decapitated an entire generation of men. Now, there are women that were in the military as well, and of course they're injured as well, but I'm run with me here for a second, and that is, we completely derailed an entire generation of men who should have been strong, reproducing, creating good families, having, all of that wonderful stuff that's very biblical and important, and it's completely derailed. So we don't have a family unit anymore. And so that was a multi-system attack. And I really, truly believe that COVID was just it was just a in life, real fake scenario, right? So as in, we're going to use this as a test model to kind of see
test run
how this works. So before 2020 even happened, I was talking with one of my students who has become a friend, and it was like late 2019, and we were seeing all that ridiculous acting that was happening in China and the other Asian countries, right? Of just like dead people in the street, bull honky. And we've been around the military for a really long time, so we kind of know what propaganda looks like. And we're laughing. It's not funny, but when you're in that realm, you kind of have to laugh at some of this silly stuff or you'll lose your mind.
Mm-hmm. Got
So
to.
we were kind of giggling, going, that's the fakest crap I've ever seen in my life. Like, obviously that's not even how people die, right? Like, I've seen better acting on a B movie, right? Like, it's just, this isn't working. So we were kind of giggling about that, and we were having some hypotheses of what's going to happen next. And we thought it would trickle into the United States, but I don't know that we thought it was that people were gonna be as gullible and ignorant as they were. I cannot give full-grown human beings the naivety pass. That's reserved for altered mental status people and children. You're a full-grown adult. You don't know how to read. People do more research on the truck that they're going to buy than what they put into their body or on their body, which is insane to me. I could care less what the vehicle's gonna do, right? Like it needs to get me from point A to point B, and if it's a truck, it needs to pull shit. Okay, done. Check. Move on. The insanity of putting things into your body that you have no idea what it is, and you're trusting some magical white coat in the sky. I don't get, like, I don't get it. Has no one ever read a history book ever? Have you never learned? Did you not learn anything? I mean, we were spraying Agent Orange, which is glyphosate. It's just called a new name today. Yeah. And dumb old men are spraying it on their dandelions in the front yard now. Right? It's just called something different now. Plastics are horrible. They were created for war. And when war ended, those companies were like, well, shit, I don't want to not make money anymore. So I'm going to make
that machine rolling. Yeah,
I'm going to make plastic cups and plastic handles for cars and all this crap. But it's toxic waste. That's exactly what plastic is. It's waste from other creations. So yeah, we just have an entire populace of people that are just so programmed, and it starts very.
Oh, the sheep.
Say again.
The sheep.
Yeah, but it starts really, really young, right? You get in line, stand up, sit down, pick up your pencil this way. It starts in school.
Yeah, it starts in schools. It does.
In a very, very young age, and you now have, I'm teaching primarily adults, so I have to approach education at a very different way, right? Like, I still need to make it fun, I still need to make it entertaining, but I have to come at it completely different. And there's entire blocks of education built into the programs today at college level regarding critical thinking and thinking outside the box. So those are classes.
It's nuts.
That should have been taught. Well, first of all, it's instinctual. You're born that way. You're born to think that way. It's broken out of you. It's beaten out of you at a very young age, because I need you to sit. I need you to eat lunch at 12. I need you to pee at 1. I need you to do your homework at 2, right? Like, that's just built into kids now. They don't know how to function outside of that. And so now we have an entire generation of adults that are like, just tell me what to do, because I don't know what to do. This is extremely similar to what people go through when they get out of the military, and they're like, I don't have structure anymore.
Yes.
Telling me what to do. So it's almost identical. It's just packaged differently and it looks differently because one involves a uniform that is government issued and one involves a uniform that's government local, right? Federal versus local institute. And so that's just, it's so similar. I've had so many friends get out of the military and then get right back in because they don't know how to function.
They don't know what to do. Yeah.
They don't know what to do. And that's what we have today is a bunch of people who don't know what to do. So I'm super anti any of that stuff. I don't even think that it should be an option for people to get because I don't believe that you should have vials of formaldehyde at Walgreens.
For real.
Okay. I don't believe that that should be an option for people to drink, inject, shoot up their butthole. I really like it shouldn't be an option. So I don't believe that vaccines should be even an option for purchase because I believe they're just so dangerous and they're so detrimental to society. And I believe that they've just crippled kids and adults alike.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And going back to what you said, they want to make people weak. They want people to lean on the government. They want people to not be free thinkers, not be free speakers. Not only that, like they literally took cursive out of the freaking equation when it comes to, teaching kids and stuff like that. Yeah. So, we're at the point right now where we actually, well, my oldest daughter, she already been through the thing. This is before we got wise, but she's gonna be going to college. But like my other daughter, we actually took her out of school. We're actually homeschooling her now. So, and then my son, he's going through pre-K, but he's going to the church. But when he starts going, we're actually gonna be doing the same thing with him. But yeah, and that's one thing that we're going over with her is that she said, she's like, Dad, they freaking literally took cursive out, and the whole way that they're teaching us like changed. Like this was a trip. This totally blew my mind. My oldest daughter was like, Hey, Dad, let me ask you a question. She's like, Yeah, okay. Where are your kidneys at? I was like, well, kidney punches like back here, right? Naturally, your kidneys are right around this area. She's like, yeah, they're saying that they're up here, right behind your lungs, like way up here. I was like, what the freak? I don't know. What do you? I don't know. But like certain like body parts, like the heart is like way over here instead of I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've done several cadaver labs, so I mean, I can tell you exactly where those organs are.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, just like the whole like teaching realm of everything.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. I believe that it's little ways of gaslighting us, so that way we can attach and bond with the abuser, right? Those are very common techniques that people who are abusing other people use to keep them under wraps. Because if you go, oh gosh, am I crazy? Oh, I'm crazy. I'm the crazy one. Now you're under that threshold of the person who now can manipulate and control you as if you're a pawn on the chessboard.
Yeah. Well, not only that though, like my daughter was she wasn't being snarky, but I was like, look, baby, here's the deal. Okay. The stuff I used to do, okay, being on SWAT and all that, they're teaching us all the pinpoints on where to shoot people.
Exactly.
So I've seen guys drop. I know where to hit them. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen it. I've lived it. Like, just forget that crap. Whatever they're teaching you, just totally just forget it. But, after that, she caught on, and then she's kind of pulled back. She started to see, like, the whole woke agenda and how everything's going. So, but, yeah, man, it's just totally freaking blew my mind. And then with the whole Event 201 thing.
Right.
To me, that was just a prequel. And with the whole COVID thing, like, I seen so many people fold. It drove me insane how many people folded over to that. I'm going to lose my job. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, dude, to me, it was a prequel. In my opinion, it was a test run for the Mark of the Beast. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it may be. And we don't really know. I mean, we can sit here and hypothesize.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, in generalities, like, look, you got to take this, Mark. Oh, God bless you. But like in generalities, like, it's, to me, it's kind of like along like the same like blueprints. Like, one, you got to take this jab. If not, you cannot work, you cannot eat, all that stuff, right? And a lot of people were just folding for it, and I was like, dude, like, yeah, it just, I don't know, just drove me nuts just drove me nuts with a lot of people who are in the church or in the word, and when something like this, they just totally forget about their faith, they totally forget about like how grounded they are in Christ, and they basically just buckle to the culture, to the society, on how everything's going. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just had to go on a rant on that.
I would really love pastors just focus on what they do, which is they should be teaching about the Bible and theology, and they're just stay in their lane. The reason that churches were caving and saying all the things that they said is because they've chosen to be 501c3s, and so they have to,
Yeah, they
because
had to abide by the rules.
in the early 60s, I think it was like 62 or so, the 501c3 got changed. The rules of engagement got changed, and there's bullets in there that say, hey, you have to be a parrot for the government. So if we say jump, you have to say how high, and you have to say that to your congregation. And all those churches took money. So the ones that were getting shut down and the ones that were getting threatened to, put the pastor in jail and all that, those are the ones that were not taking the money. Those are the ones that were saying, I'm not doing this. You guys can keep all that. I'm not telling my people to do this. This is ridiculous. And I find it abominable that you've got pastors who are claiming to be pro-life advocates, and they're pushing a vaccine which has dead babies in it.
Thank you. Let's get into that.
Yeah, I mean, this is just basic science. I mean, in order for medications to work that are injectable like that, they need human DNA. Yes, they use other animals such as dogs, cats, rats, cows, pigs.
Do you think that correlates to I'm gonna go broke here, but you think that correlates to Planned Parenthood?
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
They sell all of the baby's body parts to these organizations. I mean, that's been caught a million times. But like, that's not. Again, these are just uncomfortable truths. I don't believe in things called conspiracies. These are just uncomfortable truths, and most people would rather chalk them up to conspiracies because that gives somebody an out. Oh, that's just too far-fetched. I'm not gonna entertain that. Because it's comfortable. That's a comfortable pill to swallow. I wish I didn't know all of this. I wish I didn't know.
Ignorance is bliss, man. I hear that.
Yeah, it's really a nice life. Yeah, you just go to work, you pay your bills, you plan a weekend event, you get a couple of days in the summer to go on a mini vacay, and you just live your life. Okay, you put Christmas on the credit card and you just move on. All right, that's a really great life, but I wasn't called to do that apparently. So he had bigger plans for me. I don't know that I necessarily signed up for this. But that's what I'm doing. So yeah, there's nothing but aborted babies. So murdered children have been cut up into teeny tiny pieces. They've separated their cells, and you're injecting that into your children and into yourself. So could that be one of the million puzzle pieces of where people are like, I don't feel like me? Maybe I'm something else. Not to mention, we also have so many women on pharmaceutical birth control in a variety of manners, which are now being pushed into our public water system. So now you have men and women taking birth control against their will because it's in the water. So unless you have a water system that pulls out pharmaceuticals, you're getting a big dose of estrogen every time you drink the water. And it's not even human estrogen. It's a mixture of synthetic and other animals.
How long have they been doing that?
Well, the pill was released in the United States in the early 60s. A lot of stuff happened in the early 60s.
Yeah, a lot did. I know that. But shoot, man, all these guys got man boobs. Anyways,
right. I mean, we're being inundated with so estrogen, while
spit it out, girl. Spit it out.
it is an important part of being a woman, it's also, it needs to be at a low threshold. It cannot be super duper high. Why? Because estrogen is, well, first of all, there's multiple types of estrogen. It gets clumped into just one word called estrogen, but there are many different, there's estradiol, there's many types.
Yeah.
I don't want to bore your listeners. However, the amount of estrogen, the level needs to be quite low for females because we will start to put on a ton of weight because it's a growth hormone. Estrogen is supposed to go up when we're pregnant. Estrogen in the birth control pill is why women gain weight. They have weird periods. They get puffy faces. They have cysts in the breast cancers, uterine cancer, etc. Because it's a growth hormone. It's supposed to grow a baby. And when there's no baby to grow, it's going to grow tissue.
Yep.
So whether that's adipose or something that shouldn't be growing, such as the C word, right? So we're just getting inundated with it. And it's not just our water. It's in our dirt. It's in the meat that we're eating, because you don't want to wait 3 years for a cow to become a big cow to then turn it into food products. That's too long. We don't have that much time to wait, or so they say, right? So they just pump these animals full of estrogen. And when they say growth hormones, that's what they're talking about. They're pumping them full of estrogen so they just get humongous. Not to mention, we're also dealing with it just being adulterated in all the other foods, right? So then you've got the same cow that is being pumped full of all that, and now we've got it in our cheese and in our milk and in eggs, right? And in chicken. It's in everything. So it's not just the water. However, I happen to be a big water snob. So
what's your go-to water?
I like my Berkey filter. It comes with me everywhere.
Yeah.
It gets taken apart and shoved in my suitcase, and then I piss TSA off. It's real fun. It's super, super fun times. So yeah, I just take that with me everywhere. If I had a house and I owned it and I lived there full time, I would have a total house system. But because I'm on the road full time and
that's what you got to do.
Yeah, that works for me. So
yeah, that's your EDC for sure.
Yeah, it works perfect for me, and I enjoy it. So it comes with me. It's not maybe the best for someone, like I said, who has a permanent residence, and that might be something different for them. Because remember, I'm only filtering out the water that's going inside of me. I still have to take a shower. I still have to take a bath. I still have to wash my face. I still have to brush my teeth. So I'm still getting inundated with chlorine and all that other crap, which you can't cut out with just a Berkey system. So that's they don't pay me to say any of this. They should, but they don't.
I'm gonna cut this clip and send it to him. Like, hey guys,
thank you.
Get her.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's, oh gosh, it sucks, and it is what it is, dude. What do you suggest for people who are listening to this right now, who are just get mind blown, freaking out. Oh, Jessica, I don't know what to do. Where
Well,
should they start?
first of all, don't do that because you can only control what you can control. And I'm only speaking from personal experience because I too will do that from time to time. I think I was doing that yesterday. Okay. I'm just going to be really vulnerable and honest with you. Yesterday was just a big day. It was a big day of information. It was a big day of stuff. I was having a hard time processing all of it. And I really was like, I'm done. I'm going to close the business. I'm going to go live in a camper somewhere. It's too much. It's
Off
over.
grid. Yeah.
And I get that. I think you have to look at your life and look at what you have resources and access to and adjust fire accordingly. Not everyone has several $100,000. And at this point, you probably need $1 million to go buy a few acres in, I don't know, North Dakota, which sounds horrible. But no one has that kind of dough just sitting around where you can just exit life. That isn't they have created a society for us where paying rent and the mortgage is killing us.
Yep.
Going to the grocery store and buying the most minimal amount of food to just survive the next couple of days is crippling us.
It's a tactic, a sweet tactic for them.
Right. And so I get it. When I'm talking about these things, it's like, okay, great. That's new information. I didn't know that. What can I do? How can I save? Where can I rearrange things? How can I make friends with a new family? Look, I don't have the ability to have a garden and do all that stuff. I'm on the road teaching you knuckleheads. All right. Like I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. So I have to think outside the box and I have to get creative. So if I want eggs that week, I'm going to call a friend or I've put messages on Instagram before and said, hey, I'm going to be in such and such area. Does anybody know who has chickens? I'll take a dozen eggs because I'm going to be there for a week. Or, hey, does somebody have a garden with some, I'll pay for whatever excess you have. I'll cook meals based off of what is in the box. Just let me know. You just have to get creative and think about what your resources are, where you're at. I mean, there are plenty of people that live in apartments because that's all they can bloody afford. And they're hemorrhaging just doing that. So no, they don't have, a big backyard where they can throw up a bunch of gardening stuff and call it a nice way to take care of it. That's not an option for a lot of people. And I get that. So being creative and finding what the resources are in your area are super cool. Joining co-ops and buying things used off of eBay. I mean, those are really great. Those are really great ways of saving money and using something that someone else outgrew. And now it's going to help your family. So that's, maybe you can't do a whole system for your house. So you're like, okay, I'll get a gravity fed system, which is what a Berkey system is. And I'll buy a used stainless steel one on sale on eBay and then buy new filters. Vinegar and Dawn soap will clean a lot of stuff, like just sanitize it, put it in your house, move on. You just have to think about creative ways. I'm not perfect at it either. I just know these things and I know what I can and can't do. Like when I'm on the road all the time, I don't eat out. It's a bunch of toxic Cisco crap and I feel like garbage and I'm already flying, which is really hard on my body. And I know that. So I do a lot of fasting when I travel because it's just easier to not feel sick by eating a bunch of junk in some store somewhere. Or I'll buy things that I can make cold cut sandwiches or whatever and call it good. And that's what I'm going to eat that weekend. Cause I'd rather be a little hungry and a little uncomfortable than sick. Right. And that's just what you have to do. You have to figure out what works best for your family. A lot of people want to homeschool their kids and they're worried about things like, well, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this because I have a full-time job. Be creative. There's probably someone else in your community, in your neighborhood that wants to do it too. So swap kids, right? Make a co-op. Do a one-room schoolhouse where one parent has the kids one day of the week and figure it out. I mean, there's really cool ways you can do things which is what was happening in 2020. I think that's the other, I don't know that it was necessarily a super positive or whatever. I think it was just a really cool side effect of COVID, which was people were getting really creative with the situation that they were in, right? Kids were getting sent home from school. They're like, well, shit, I can do this at home, you know? And I got to go to work, or maybe they're a nurse or a doctor, or they, pick up trash or whatever, and they're the essential workers. So they got to go, but create a situation where it can be beneficial for you and someone else, right? Maybe you're in a situation where you're like, I have to work all the time. I've got little kids and I don't want to put them in daycare. I bet you $100 there's someone in your city that is a stay-at-home mom who homeschools her kids and would love to get paid to babysit your kids and feed them whole food meals and let them play all day in the sun so you can go do what you need to do until you can get to that point. I guarantee you there's a mom out there that would do that. Right? So just, again, I'm beating a dead horse here, but just think outside the box to create a situation that's best for you and your family.
Yeah, I agree. Not only that, too, guys, we have the freaking internet, Facebook, Instagram. There's if you guys dig into this, like I'm a part of groups. I know Jessica's a part of groups. Like you guys will find people in your city that are like-minded like you, that want to prepare like you, that are on the same road as you, and you guys can figure it out together. 100%. You guys can come up with a game plan.
Right.
Keep pushing forward.
That's the biggest reason I put together the workshop, is because I want people in that area to come hang out together because they want to learn from me, but I want them, it's a requirement to bring your lunch to my workshop. And I do that for a reason. One, it's nobody's leaving and then coming to class late because everybody does that. But two, it's because I want you to sit next to someone you've never met that lives in the same neighborhood you do, who's like-minded like you. So when I leave, I've cultivated that relationship for you guys. I've created a safe place for you to go. I didn't know that, like today, I didn't know you were a welder. That's really cool. That's now something cool I know about you. And I know the area of the country you live in. And so when someone says, hey, I really need X, Y, and Z, I can go, oh, Drew does that, right? Like call him, or even if he can't do it, I bet he knows someone who can. And so that's where we need to utilize the trash bin of the internet for a positive.
Yeah. And networking, baby. Networking.
Yeah. Which is just so fun to do. Someone helped me. I mean, I don't know if it'll turn into anything, but I was in quite the pickle yesterday with my business. I needed something and I needed it right now. And so I picked up the phone and said, hey, I'm in a pickle and I need help. And that person was like, I think I might know someone that actually does that. Let me call them and I'll have them call you. Those are really important networks. And we've gotten away from that because we just don't have a society that does that anymore, right? Wow. Like we have a society that like, you park in your garage, you never go outside, your mail comes to your door, you barely go, you just, no one's associates with anyone. Yeah. And when you're outside, you got earbuds in, you don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just as guilty of that as anybody else. And it's detaching us further and further, which is their goal, right? Like
that's what they want.
That's what they want. Lone wolf sounds cool. It makes really good movies, awesome books.
It's not realistic.
But it is not realistic. And I have that mentality a lot myself, and I have to work on that. It's hard for me. I very much have I'll do it. I can do it better than you. It's fine. I'll take care of it attitude.
But hold on. I'm not going to let you kick your own ass here. Here's the deal. You travel a lot. You kind of are a lone wolf in a way because you got to start meeting people, wherever you go all the time. You got to start from square one. So don't sell yourself short, buddy. Anyway,
yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. Like I push myself to make sure that I'm always making a new relationship. I'll only have one earbud in because I want to listen to what people are saying at the airport and try to make a friend, or,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's really difficult to do that. And it's not something that I always love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I get it.
it's hard. It is hard.
It is because people suck sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it out there. People suck sometimes. It's one thing I had to work on.
Yeah. And sometimes we're the people that suck. And so
Yes.
I can only control my reactions to everything. And that's what I work on. And I'm not perfect. Thank God for grace, because I can be better for sure.
Yeah, I hear that for a fact. I hear that. So I know you've been running and gunning on classes and stuff. This 2020 was 2026, yeah. The 2025. Good Lord, I'm good thinking ahead here.
Hey,
2026 next year.
got a couple more months.
2025. What was the most memorable class you've had, and why?
Well, they all do some. I learn something new with every class that I do. So I would, gosh, I can't pick one. You put me on the spot, Drew.
Yes, I did.
I can tell you exactly who my favorite military class of all time was, but I can't pick my civilian class. They're all really special because it's all a really different group of people, because depending on like what area of the country I'm in, they got to have their own spin on things. I think it's really great when I have a mixture of, like, maybe they've got an EMS or some other medical background, military, and I've got civilians. Those classes are super fun for me. And I think it's really fun for the students because they're being able to learn from so many different backgrounds in one location. And everybody's got a story and everybody's got an experience. And those are the ones that are really fun. The classes that are going to be the most fun are the ones where everybody is participating. I very rarely have classes where everybody is like wallflowers. That doesn't happen super duper often. Usually it's onesies and twosies in a classroom, and I'll eventually pull you into the group, but you have to participate. So that, I don't know, I can't pick one. They're all great. I have fun with all of them.
Okay, I got it. Fair enough.
And I lose my voice by the end of it. It's great.
I got you. Fair enough. Now, since you've done so many of these, I'm sure you get texts, I'm sure you get emails and stuff like that, of people using on what you taught and stuff like that. What's one recently that somebody's done?
I got several phone calls of babies being born during the Eastern Tennessee, North Carolina
area.
And I got several phone calls of, hey, we just delivered a baby, but mom's not making milk, or hey, there's an infant and she didn't have access to water, so she wasn't drinking and she dried up. How can we feed this baby? So that was kind of cool. So they were previous people that have taken my class before, but just wanted to touch base with mom, if you will, me, let me just ask her one more question. And I love that. I will take those all day long for sure.
That's cool. That's awesome. What are the plans in the future for you when it comes to this business?
So the plan is to have a pretty steady rotation of places that I visit all of the time. So picking kind of the areas of the country that work best for people to kind of congregate. There will be more classes in, I don't know what happened. There will be more classes in Texas for sure, just because that's home base for me. But I really want to also finish up my book and release that 2026. So for those who can't necessarily be in a class with me or have been, but just want that extra resource. So it'll be very military handbook style. So not necessarily you could read it from cover to cover, but it will be very much like A, B, and C are happening. What should I do? And you can kind of look it up like that. So more like owner's manual style.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, so it won't have like cool stories from me necessarily, or it's not my biography by any stretch of the imagination. It's more like, hey, I found myself in this problem. How do I get myself out? And
like that.
things like my recipes will be in there, and my algorithms and all that kind of stuff will be in a one-stop shop for people. So I'm really hoping it will be out in 2026. I'm really hoping maybe springtime-ish.
Yeah. I got you.
So I don't travel from Thanksgiving through February for my health. Traveling during the winter and catching everybody's gunk while I need to speak for a living is not my thing. So I don't travel during that time. So that's when I plan and execute what's going to happen for the next year. And so we have some cool things up our sleeves, some great stuff that's coming out for the holiday season for the shop, and some really fun stuff. I'm working on a whole new like a patch for the Combat Midwife, and it'll be really cool military style. It'll be really fun. Some different swag stuff, and then some different materials that will be available, some pocket guides, things like that, that'll be on the website. But we have some really fun things planned for next year. They're going to be cool.
That's awesome. One, I'm excited about that book. That sounds really interesting. How long you been attacking that? How long you been doing that for? Like
So
writing it out?
I've been collecting and writing different sections probably for the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
And kind of I mean, a lot of it is here or in different already created written forms. So I'm kind of just pulling stuff together and making it organized.
Yeah.
Just because, I've already been a part of a medical tech, as a writer, an author for a medical textbook, and I've already written articles. And so this stuff kind of already exists. And yeah, so I'm just kind of pulling it together so it's a little bit easier for people to find and resource, and is lightweight for them to put in, say, their go bag, or throw it in with their gear in the truck. And that was a really important thing for me. So it'll be lightweight enough for people to pack with them if they wanted to do that. And then we'll do a bundle so they can get the OB kit and the book for sure on a special price and that kind of stuff. So you'll have the tools that are talked about in the book with you.
Roger that. Now, as far as teaching the next generation, are you teaching anybody coming up that are going to be helping you out? That if you're getting so busy that you can't hit all these spots, you're sending out other people to do it for you as you're still doing your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Are you volunteering?
No, I ain't doing that. What the heck are you talking about? I got time for that, girl. I'm just saying in general, like right now, are you training anybody for the future? It's just you.
It's just me. I've had several people ask me that question, and I know in a business sense, it makes sense to do that, right? Like have a bunch of people do a train the trainer kind of situation. But I'm the one with the stories, and I'm the one with the experience. So I'm not really sure how that would work. I don't know. I wouldn't want to take a gun class from somebody who doesn't have a background in guns.
Yeah.
That would be weird to me. So I can't just pick some person off the street and be like,
no, I know that. I'm just saying, like, you pull some random, like, PJ, who's retiring, or, someone who's an ER nurse or something like that wants to jump into this.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're telling me to do.
No, I'm not. I'm not telling you to do anything, Jessica. I'm just saying, is it an option? I'm just saying, have you thought about that or anything? I'm not telling you what to do. I was just asking a question.
You find mentors in an area you want to be good in, right? And building this business is a passion for me. It is my baby, right?
Yes.
I've labored this thing. I've went through transition. I feel like I'm still in it sometimes, and I've birthed this thing. And it's not necessarily a control factor, because a lot of times I'll sit with mentors, they're like, you just don't want to let go of control. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's the fact
your
that
reputation in your name.
Yeah. It's
That's
sort
what
of
it
that.
is. Hey, I get it. You know, I get it. Like I don't want to have a bad name out there. No, hiring some joker. I get it.
Yeah. What I really need to do is I need to have a daughter, and then I can train her to do all this stuff. That's what I really need. That's what I
Yes.
Yeah. Then I can just pass the midwife torch, and I'll make her go to paramedic school, and then, we'll do some cool
Lay it
stuff.
all out. That's right. Right, a girl. Right on. That's what I'm talking about. Sounds like a plan, girl.
I mean, that's a really long game plan, but okay.
Hey, it's all good. That's like, what is it, like a whatever 5-year, 10-year game? No, I'm just joking. Yeah, but as far as that, yeah, man. So that's basically all I got with that. And other than that, how do I put this? Oy vey. Without, I guess, yeah. What is the next step? If I was you, dude, since you're writing a book, have you ever thought about doing like a biography on your life?
Yeah, so that gets brought up in team meetings a lot. And
I know you got thousands of stories, dude, of your life. Come on now.
Right. So what I've met the team halfway, because they really want me to do that. I'm like, but I'm not done living.
It's okay. Write another book.
So what I've decided is, because there are some very wacky stories that I don't know that I want released until after I'm dead. I've decided.
Oh, yeah, it's getting good, guys.
I've decided that I am going to start just recording a lot of stories, so I don't forget them when I'm 90 and senile.
There you go.
And then, this hypothetical daughter that I'll have, who's been trained up, she can finish writing it for me and then release it when I'm like, on the ranch somewhere, enjoying the last sunsets of my journey here on the earth. I don't know, dude. It'll happen. There's just some stuff that needs to be a little bit further of years away from the government before I can tell those stories.
Check. Check.
And I'm like, oh, I don't look good in orange.
I let oranges to do black. I don't like it.
I don't like it. I like the old black. So I just feel like I would not be writing a good book unless I included that stuff. And I just feel like we need a lawyer and a few more years.
Okay, Roger that, girl. That sounds good. So, man, we'll talk a lot. We'll talk off air because I want to.
Yeah, we're not. No. Put the phone in a Faraday bag, and we'll talk about around the fire. Then we can talk.
That sounds good. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what's next on the list? So, you said you stop. When is it you stop from this?
So
from November to February.
Yeah, Thanksgiving through February. So basically, I'll have classes start back up in March. It's just everybody's got the colds and the sniffles, and I don't need to catch that and then try to talk with laryngitis. It's just, I don't like being on planes at that time. Plus, I've not obeyed that rule in the past, and then I wind up like sleeping in Chicago airport, because it snowed in, or that's just dumb. I'm too old for that shit. So I need cushy beds and 8 pillows. I can't do it anymore. So I just don't travel during that time frame, and that's when I really knock out big projects. So I'll work a lot on my book during that time, and I'll put together, like I said, we have some cool things planned for next year. Different organizations we'll be working with that I can't talk about yet, and putting together bigger type workshops. So those are coming soon.
Sounds good, man. Sounds freaking awesome. I'm excited for you. I'm glad you're doing awesome and kicking
Thanks.
butt. And yeah, that's awesome. You got your vacation's coming up, buddy. It's
It's
coming
not
up.
it's not a vacation.
I know it's not a vacation, but vacation on not traveling. Maybe some travel, but not
Ye-
like how you do it now.
Yes, it is nice to be in one spot. I usually pick somewhere in the country that I haven't necessarily been before,
Yeah,
and then I hang out there for a while. And go
gotcha.
visit friends and family that I don't get to see the rest of the year and that kind of fun stuff. So
Playing catch up.
yeah, so whoever wants to host me for Thanksgiving, let me know because I need to come eat your food. So there's that.
All right on ski, right on ski. Um, other than that, I'm good to go. I wouldn't mind having you on again, and we'll definitely plan out what we're going to talk about. I'm just joking. um, other than that, where can people find you at? If they got any questions for you, they need to hit you up. They want to take classes.
Yeah,
Lay it
so
all out.
come hang out with me on my very cool glow up website, which is combatmidwife.com. It's been around forever, but it got a big.
It's right here on the. I'm having it on like a news
Your ticker
thingy.
tape is cool. It's
Yeah.
super cool. Yeah, so come hang out with me there. That's where you can find all of my free resources as well as all of the classes we'll have for the rest of the year. Next year's classes will get released soon, so stay tuned for that. But if there are people out there that want private classes, like they have a group of people, I have plenty of room to still squish those in for this year. So if there's private courses you want to do, which people do all the time, where they just have a group of people they want to do the workshop and it's not open to the public, we do those as well. And then my OB kit is on there. My open source book, so that's a free resource. You can use that as well for learning material. And plus there's a ton of videos and fun things, lots of cool pictures. You can see all the in real time, like what we do in the class on the workshop page, and it's cool stuff.
Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds awesome. Well, Jessica, appreciate you coming on
Thank
once
you for having
again,
me.
and hopefully, well, wish you can tell those stories, but Big Brother's watching, so whatever. It is what it is. It is
Yeah,
what it
so,
is. We'll
yeah,
find out. We'll find out later, years down the road. It's fine.
yeah.
Um,
We need a few more years to go by.
yeah, I know, right? Once he's done, like, I'm out. I'm done. Anyways, yeah. All right, buddy. I appreciate you. Don't go anywhere yet. We'll chat a little more, and then I'll let you go. But yeah, guys, that's it for the podcast. You guys got any questions for Jessica? I'll have our information in the show notes like I usually do. Yeah, guys, hit her up, combatmidwife.com, combatmidwife.com. And I can't wait for that book to come out, buddy. And your biography. But anyways, just saying.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, guys. Like I said, you got any questions, hit her up. I'll have our links in the show notes. And you got any questions for me, hit me up. Want to be on the show? Let me know. You want to chit chat? Hit me up. That's all I got. All right. We're out. Jessica, be safe. Be good.
Thank you.
And we are out.